everyone. So I have Adam here today, and he is going to give us some detailed information on Crystal Hot Springs here in Honeyville, Utah. All right, Adam.
Hi. So I was telling him that not only is it incredible that it's the highest mineral content spring anywhere in the world, but the thing that makes it really unique is that the hot and cold spring are 50 feet away from each other, which is the second closest in the world. The hot spring is 135 degrees, and the cold spring is 70 degrees.
Wow.
And so we mix those to make our temperatures. And what makes that really easy is the size of them. So the cold spring produces 1,700 gallons of cold water every minute. And the hot spring produces 1,600 gallons of water every minute. So they're almost identical in size. If you took both springs and used them for city potable water, that's enough for 49,000 people's daily use of water.
Wow.
The hot spring all by itself is 6 times bigger than Mammoth Springs up in Yellowstone.
That's amazing.
Yeah, it's just crazy, and it's crazy that they're coming so close together. And they've been carbon dated, and they carbon date a spring from the last time it fell as rain. They're taking it from the time it was gas, so it became a liquid. And the hot spring, they carbon date to 22,000 years since it fell as rain, and it's gone and made this huge cycle to go way down 8,000 feet below us and come back up as hot water. So that water fell as rain so long ago, and the cold spring fell as rain 1 to 2 years ago.
Wow.
And then it comes out right next to the hot spring. So 2 totally different sources of water. And the cold spring is just shy of 3,000 parts per million, and the hot spring is 46,000 parts per million.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
It's just amazing.
It really is. It's just incredible that it's there. And so summertime we can cool the water down using the cold spring. Wintertime we can heat it up. And in Utah we have a very up and down weather. So even in the summer, it's July, and we're going to run the pools at say 90 degrees so that it's warm, but it's not too warm.
Right.
Kind of like what we use is like Hawaii, Lake Powell, Jamaica. We use places where everyone says the water's perfect to judge our summer temperatures. And then in the wintertime, we'll heat it up. But even in the summer, if the sun goes down and it gets cold in the evening, then we heat it up for the evening. Or if a rainstorm comes in, then we just heat it right up. And we're flowing the water fast enough to do that. And that's the other big thing, is that we can flow the water really fast. So even in the dead of winter, with the giant Olympic pool, we can't go straight hot, because we want to flow the water too fast to keep it clean. If we went straight hot, we're not flowing it to where we want it to be. So we want to flow that thing in 4 hours. So we're adding this hot water to it, but we're also adding just a little bit of cold to cool it down. So you got to think, if you're running it with just the hot, it's like running your bathtub at home with just the hot towel.
Right.
How long would it take you to fill your bathtub? You have to just trickle it and then let it fill up slowly. So here, we can just add that cold to it to make it flow faster, to keep it cleaner, because we're not adding chlorine to it. We're just flowing it in, flowing it out. And when we do that, you've got to have the cold to flow it as fast as we want to. Some of our pools, the smaller hot tubs, we flow in 20 minutes. So as much water as what is in the pool goes through those in 20 minutes.
Wow.
You could never do that with just the hot spring. You have to add the cold to it.
So how often do you recycle the tubs out there, the pools?
So they're drained every day.
They're drained every day?
Every day. And so by the time you got here, they were probably already full. But they were drained this morning. That's what Kaylin, who was out cleaning this morning, she sprays them all out. We bleach anything where it gets algae, because without chlorine you're going to start getting algae on things. So we try to bleach away the algae and then spray the bleach back off, because people don't want that in their water. And then we fill it up with fresh water and have them whole.
Love that.
And that way we can keep everything fresh. And then all day it's just the new water coming in, old water going out.
That's awesome. Yes.
Yeah. So it really is just so unique to other springs. I mean, there's a lot of springs that I go to, and I love all hot springs. I go to hot springs all over. But there's a lot of hot springs out there, and they're flowing 80 gallons per minute.
Wow.
Of just hot water.
And we're flowing
1,600 of hot and 1,700 gallons of cold.
It's amazing.
And so, you know, they're like, well, how do you do it? And I'm like, you can't. I mean, I can tell you how I do it, but that you're not going to be able to, because we have 1,600 gallons of hot, 1,700 gallons of cold, and you have 80 gallons of hot. So
right.
You're going to have to slow your flow, you're going to have to, but we were very particular about making sure that we keep our water to like the same as a chlorinated pool without chlorine.
Okay. And how does it compare to mineral content? Let's say to the Dead Sea or some other big...
So Dead Sea's really high. So it's not the same as the Dead Sea. It's very similar to the Salt Lake on the regular side of the Great Salt Lake. But then the Salt Lake's divided in two. If you ever look at the Great Salt Lake on a map, it looks like there's a digital glitch. One side's pink and one side's blue.
The causeway, right?
Yeah, there's a causeway that goes across. So you have Gunnison Bay, which is the pink side, and then you have the blue side, which is the rest of Great Salt Lake. So it's comparable to the rest of Great Salt Lake, but Gunnison Bay is a lot more like the Dead Sea. So,
okay,
yeah,
all right.
It's not comparable to that. That's really high. This poster, which you probably showed, and you can post like if you load up the paper there, it has it. But this has the different hot springs around that people soak at, and there are a couple missing off of there. So this is taken off a database that has all the hot springs in the U.S., which is humongous.
Yeah.
And then I tried to dwindle it to just the ones that people would be soaking at, whether they're commercial or non-commercial. And then some of them, it was hard to find the name for because, so our hot spring is actually Madison Hot Spring, just for an example. That's why Madison's in parentheses.
Okay, all right.
Crystal Hot Springs was the name of the business. So I knew ours, so that was easy to be like, that's our hot spring. But some of the other hot springs, you know, some of them even have a name like 5574123, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like BLM 557, and I don't know, I know what people call it, but I don't know which one it is. And so some of them are missing off of that, but this is pretty much all the different hot springs that people soak at around the United States.
All right. Hey, I really appreciate the information.
No problem.
Okay, thanks.